Join me as I share a few simple editing tips and take you behind the scenes on my shoots. Nothing complicated, just little things I've picked up along the way, plus a look at how my photos come together. I'm Jane. Welcome to Fig Tree Images. Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to improve this photograph using just a few simple techniques in Lightroom Classic. This photograph was taken, as you can see, in a woodland on a quite foggy morning, misty morning in the winter. As you can see, hardly any leaves on the trees, they're all on the ground, and it has quite a mysterious atmospheric feel to it, but I think it's a bit flat. So I want to try and make it come to life a bit more. So first of all, we look at this section here, which says Adobe Color is the first of the options on the drop down. You won't have this if you don't have Lightroom Classic. This is something I've only just discovered and just started to use. If you select any of the options in the drop down, it will subtly change your picture, as you can see. That's given it a slight warmer glow, a bit more depth to the picture. And if we choose another of the options, let's try this one, and that sort of more or less brings it back to how it was before. It's just a very, very subtle change on that one. But I think for this one, I think the vivid works quite well because it's achieving some of what I want to achieve myself with this image. It's giving a bit more warmth, a bit more depth. The trees are starting to come to life a bit more. We can see them a bit better, but we've still got that atmospheric look. So the next thing I want to do is warm it up a bit more. So you use the temperature slider, take it towards the yellow side for warmth, obviously. Obviously don't go too far. You can easily sort of make it look a bit unrealistic. So we're trying to keep it looking realistic for this image. I'm not going for a stylistic piece. I'm still wanting it to look realistic. And then I'll put a little bit of the red in, the sort of magenta into it, but very, very, very subtly on that. And then we come down to the next slider here, and I'm going to adjust these for now, but we can always come back to them if they're wrong. You can see the contrast, you take it right down, that gives a totally the wrong feel to this picture. I want to increase that slightly because I want to emphasize the differences between the darks and the lights. So I'm just increasing it just a tiny bit, and you can see it gives it a little bit more clarity too. Okay, so we'll leave it about there. And the next thing I want to have a look at, I think, is going to be the highlights. As you can see on this photograph here, we've got quite a blown out area. There's not much you can see there. So if we take that down, you can see something is starting to be revealed. Some twigs are just coming to life there. So that's better than having a sort of glaring blotch of white on the picture. We don't want that. So let's try and take the whites down as well. As you can see, that adjusts the whole image because this is a general, it's not a targeted slider. It's just a general. So it will bring, there's whites behind all those trees, so it's bringing all that down. So we'll leave that around about there. And we can sort of try and make the blacks, just tweak that a little bit more there. Let's see. I'm trying to sort of recover as much information from the image as I can so that we don't have anything that's just a blotch of white on the image. The blacks you can take down, and as you can see, the further I go towards the black, I'm losing some of that atmosphere that I really like in the picture. So I don't want to do that too much, although I do want to recover the trunks of the trees and the branches. Now, if you want to just have a quick look across the picture, and we can see it's full of texture, this picture. So I want to make that a bit more emphasized. with this slider here. Okay, just to about there. Don't want to overdo any of these, because you overdo them, they stop looking realistic and they don't look as pleasing to the eye. Clarity, similar effect to texture in that it makes things sharper and jump out, but it doesn't add more texture. And if you take it down, dial it down, then it has the opposite effect, it softens. So I'm going to leave that dialed down slightly, but just increase the dehaze a tiny bit, because I don't want to lose that hazy feel to this picture. Vibrance and saturation. Be careful with saturation, and exercise a little bit of caution with vibrance too, because you can very quickly make your picture again look unrealistic and stylised. Unless that's something you're going for, just exercise a little bit of caution with these two sliders, particularly the saturation one. I think we'll just put a tiny bit, because I'd like those colours to pop, the colours that are in the picture. So even though it's quite a sort of monochrome, I suppose, picture, there are colours in there. There's oranges, there's greens, there's reds. So it's you know, on initial look at it, you may think it's quite a monochrome picture, but actually there's lots of colour in there. And I want to sort of bring out the warm tones, the sandy path, the oranges of the leaves, make the little leaves that there are still remaining pop. Okay, we're going to leave tone curve for this particular picture. I'm going to do a little tutorial on that as a separate video. This is colour mix, so you can either mix or you can use point colour. So point colour is what I'm going to use on this one, just to show you. Don't particularly think I need it, but I'll show you. Say we'll have a look at this highlighted area here, and we point that colour, and that will pick up anything that colour and in quite a wide range adjacent to that colour. As you can see, that it's picking up some of the pinks and oranges. You slide down, you scroll down, you can see if you tick on the visualize range, it will go black and white for the areas it's not including, but anything else remains in colour, and you can see that. So it's picking up quite a lot there, and I don't want it to pick up quite a lot. I'm wanting it just to pick up that little bit. So what you need to do is take these sliders, and as you can see, if you you can increase the range if you wanted to. If I increase that, it's picking up more, or you can decrease it so it's not picking up as much, and you can see it goes black and white. You can do that with all of those. And then I think we'll take off the visualize range because it's easier to see what it's doing then. And these are the sliders that you can adjust. And you can see it's bringing quite a bit of detail into that area that was once blown out at the beginning. So tweak a few of those. You can see that area has sort of been recovered more or less there, and it's looking a lot more depth to the picture. It's certainly looking a lot better than it started out, in my opinion. You may have a different opinion. Please share in the comments if you do. We'll leave the colour grading. Don't think we need that on this image. The last thing is to add some sharpening, which you always need if you're doing if you're shooting on RAW, you would definitely need it. And I just add around about 55. That's sort of an average really that I use. I'm just checking now for luminance, which is noise reduction actually, what I should say, which is the sort of little tiny grainy effect that you kind of see on some images, usually if they're taken in low light, because you're shooting too slow to let enough light into the camera. My camera normally deals with low light very well, handheld. I can usually use it okay with no noise, but there is a little bit on this. Not particularly too bothered about it because of the feel that I'm going for, that sort of misty feel that I'm going for. However, I'll just smooth it out a little bit by using the luminance there. Now, doesn't need any levelling. The horizon, slightly you can see sort of a joint between the sky and the land there. It is okay. There's no need to change that. So before and after, I hope you agree that those are completely different photographs now, and I much prefer the one on the right. I hope you do too. Okay, so you can recheck all your sliders if you want to adjust any more. You can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.